Boss tried to shave an hour off my pay, got blacklisted from the company for fraud. I originally submitted this elsewhere, but maybe it fits better in this subreddit. TL, don't mess with insurance companies. They don't take kindly to people cheating and stealing. This happened a few years ago. I basically did direct support for disabled clients. To picture what that's like, I'd go to the house and help supervise the client with tasks like cooking and cleaning, taking them to appointments, bringing them grocery shopping, that sort of stuff. All client directed, my job wasn't to do the stuff for them, just to help them do it themselves. The number of hours I could spend helping per week depended on what their insurance felt like paying for, and the stipulation was that I had to be helping the client at all times. So they couldn't just send me on errands without participating. There was one entitled lady who tried to break this frequently. I always remained professional and explained that I was there to help with living tasks, but she always tried pushing to see what she could get away with. For example, "Oh, I just need you to babysit my nephew for me today." "Sorry lady, my duties are attached to the client, and your nephew isn't the client." She'd get huffy, but usually drop it. At the end of each week, we'd log my hours, and then both sign the form and submit it to the company. I usually left the form on her kitchen table when I left her house. She was the one who would send it in. Well, one day, she'd asked me to watch her nephew, and I went into the well-rehearsed spiel about my job duties again. She wasn't happy I refused, but accepted it as usual. It was Friday already, and the form was due, but for once she had plans and was leaving the house first. She was okay with me locking up after her. On my way out, I went to sign the form and noticed that she'd filled out my hours for the day incorrectly. She put the end of my shift as about an hour earlier. I figured it was an honest mistake and fixed it before signing, and went home without a second thought. Guys. A few hours later I got an explosion of angry texts. She was ranting and calling me every name in the book for changing the hours. She matter-of-factly informed me that since I didn't obey her request, watching her nephew at the end of shift, I wasn't getting paid for that hour. I learned in an angry flurry of messages that apparently, this had been going on for a while. Any time I didn't do her extra demands, it didn't count as part of the shift. Personally, I never noticed since it only ever amounted to about an hour or so per week, and I also didn't see that she'd alter the log after I left. She sent all of this information in a string of text messages. I'm not sure if she didn't realize it was basically a written confession. Here's the revenge. I ended up calling my company to ask how to proceed. My supervisor took this very seriously, explaining that my company was legally obligated to give me my pay as per the labor board. I live in the US, they'd also be contacting the insurance company to explain the discrepancy, since the amount of hours paid to the employee was greater than the amount of hours the insurance company allotted to the client. I kind of laughed it off, said it was only an hour and I didn't care about making waves over 1 hour, literally only $12. But apparently, her insurance didn't appreciate her saying she was getting less hours in order to get a little extra free help. Meanwhile, my company was billing her insurance more than they should in order to pay me. I asked what happens now, and my supervisor said they'd take care of everything, and they were dropping her as a client and would reimburse me the hour. I wish the story had an exciting end, but all I know is she was permanently blacklisted from services. I'm not sure if the insurance company went after her legally, or how they handle things like fraud and or cheating the system. I'm assuming there was some sort of recourse. All of this, because she changed 1 hour I noticed by pure chance. I got my additional $12 in the mail a week later.